Today we're going to go rafting in a river that nobody rafts, through a canyon that nobody traces, in a town that few people visit. But how did we get here? How does one go about planning a trip to places that people don't visit, where there's little information, no travel blog to follow, and no professionals to ask? This is the second river in our Lishan series, and there is no easy way to get down to it. Or at least we thought there wasn't until this farmer offered us a ride on his private MRT line.
那我坐中间吗？
坐中间。
哇塞，好可怕！
有看到比较低的头要低一下。
好。哇！ Holy shit!
It's super slow, super scary, and super amazing. When we got to the bottom, we thanked the farmer and he told us why we always hear fireworks during the day out here.
所以猴子会自己摘柿子哦。
那吃得很严重哎，整颗都嘛吃光光。
可是你们要怎么知道放几次鞭炮他们才会离开？
没有啊，都是加减放啊，放到踩啊，没办法啊。那猴子不好抓啊。谢谢大哥。
Then I celebrated because this roller coaster already made my day and it wasn't even 9 a.m. yet.
Oh my god, best day of my life.
We had another 50 or so meters to go to get down to the river, and now you can see how steep it was. I'm super thankful that I didn't have to walk that. The more you raft, the lazier you get and the less you feel like walking.
Asher!
A boat.
Dude, look, just that tiny short wave. Look how high up it is. That little house. Is it crazy?
So tired.
A lot less tiring than it could have been. Welcome everybody. We got an early start this morning thanks to that very nice farmer. Now we're at the bottom of Hehuan River. We have to be especially careful today and make sure that we can see far ahead. Don't crowd too close together. Before we embark on every trip, I give a little speech about what to expect and make sure that everybody knows their roles clearly. The river can be quite noisy. It's best to make sure everybody is on the same page and understands each other before we start. Out for each other, take it slow, and let's have a good time. For this trip, we're going down the Hehuan River. It's got a very different feeling than the Dajia River, which we did yesterday. Woo! The gradient of this river is similar, but the rocks are much larger. It makes kayaking here a lot more dynamic and technical. You have to read the river and follow precise lines, or else you will get stuck. Or in higher water levels, or else you could have a serious problem. For this reason, it's my favorite river of the two so far, but they are both very amazing. For the most part though, at this water level, there weren't many reasons to stop other than to take photos.
Ew, ew. Wow, wow, wow.
I could see far enough ahead to scout from my boat, and so we continued down at a pretty good pace. The farms disappeared, and the river started to feel very wild and untamed. I liked it.
哇，这里好安静哦。
超安静的。
Eventually, we did get to a place in the river where we needed to stop and scout, and ultimately we decided to go around on the right side. Get down to cut rock. I don't think it's a real danger, but you gotta be careful. Well, we go on the left on this side as well. There's an undercut rock that overhangs the river, and while it looks easy enough to avoid, there's no reward for risking it. It's better just to walk around, Our pack rafts only weigh a few kilograms. It's no big deal just to skip it. It's easy to see when it's out of the water, but try to imagine what it would look like if the water was 10 centimeters higher. Those are the kinds of hazards that you'll need to be able to identify before you start rafting on your own. Learning how to control your boat is the easiest part. The hardest but most important part is learning how to read the river. The next part of the river is the most beautiful. The canyons here are so tranquil and comforting. It's such a pleasure to paddle through them. We also saw a Reeves muntjac that stayed on a rock long enough for me to film it. There's no hazards here, so I'll just let you enjoy the scenery for a while.
Wow,塞!
That's a broken dam?
At the end of the canyon, there is a longer rapid. Here we had to stop because there's a dam at the end of it, and you know what that means. Yep, it means danger. I took the extra wide route because that allowed me to see everything more clearly, even though it put me farther from the exit. And so I noticed the siphon under the giant block of concrete and stayed far away from it. This rapid is not safe for beginner rafters. Don't attempt it if you're not 100% sure that you're going to stay in your boat, and cut around to the right side. We didn't even try to play with the next dam. It looks kind of okay from the top, but there are broken metal spikes sticking up under that white water. Just let it go and move on. After that is pretty much the end of Hehuan River. It exits into the much bigger Nanhu River, which has a different temperature and salinity, so the colors don't mix immediately. This crosses under the road, so it's an easy place to stop, but we chose to keep going because this river is fun too. It would be even better at a higher water level, but keep in mind that even though it's flat, it's still got some serious 90-degree turns, which would become very technical and dangerous in high water levels. Next, we went under the red bridge that makes me want to jump into the water every time I go over it. When I drive over this bridge, I look over the edge and I just want to swim, kayak, or river trace in this river. Funny enough though, floating under the bridge didn't make me feel like I needed to jump out of my boat and into a car. It really doesn't work the other way around. I'm happy in the river. About 1 kilometer later, this river connects with the Dajia River and the place we came out yesterday. You all know the way from here. I recommend watching my last video if you're into pack rafting. It's got pretty good information about scouting and reading the river. I'm going to say bye for now and just let this video play out while we get to the campsite. I hope you enjoyed it. Send us a message if you want to start pack rafting, and I hope the next time we meet, it's out in the river together.